How to be a villain.
Chu Zhu to himself, now that the Taiji ancient star has sealed itself once again, it will be another 3 years before it opens. The Tiannu hiding in the shadows will definitely come after us again. For our own safety, it is best to deal with the Tiannu as soon as possible. Long Kui said the endless great marsh under my rule is entirely inhabited by aquatic clans. My aquatic people are masters of combat in the water, but on land they can only exert at most 70% of their full strength. They are no match for the Tiannu's weapons. If we start a war recklessly, the casualties would be enormous. Qi Mengdi to herself, Tiannu. What Tiannu? Could it be the monsters that were chasing us recently? No, those things should not be enough to make the dragon god so wary. Chu Zhu said, forgive me for being blunt, but the way you are handling this is slow suicide. The Tiannu will eventually turn their weapons toward the endless great marsh. Long Kui, your dragon god bloodline still owes the desolate god a favor. Now, I need you to fulfill that promise. Suddenly, Miao Shaoqi appeared. Miao Long Kui stood up from her throne, shocked. You are the artifact spirit of the innate sword embryo? You are following him. Do not tell me he has already refined the innate sword embryo? Miao Shaoqi said cheerfully. Of course, Miao. Qi Mengdi to herself. He has only been on the Taiji ancient star for such a short time, and this rebellious disciple already got the innate sword embryo? Long Kui sat back down, clicking her tongue. Shh! A promise from the dragon god naturally counts. Speak. What do you want me to do? You only get one chance. Make sure you use it wisely. Chu Zhu to himself. Should I use this condition to exchange for master's freedom, or should I use it to gain the dragon god's help for myself? Long Kui said, Chu Zhu, from the moment you walked into this hall, you deliberately ignored the woman standing beside me. You are both cultivators from the Sky Dome continent. Do you not recognize her? Chu Zhu said, of course I do. She is the peak lord of Yunxia Peak, from the Taigu sacred land on the Sky Dome continent. In telepathic communication, Qi Mengdi said, rebellious disciple, such an important opportunity should not be wasted on me. After observing these past few days, even if the dragon god does not release me, my life will not be in danger. But it is different for you. You are now alone on the Taiji ancient star. If the Tiannu target you, you will definitely be in grave danger. Chu Zhu replied, Master. You can hardly protect yourself, and you are still worrying about me. Qi Mengdi said, do not flatter yourself. I am just worried that if you die out there, it will be hard to explain things to the sacred land. Chu Zhu said aloud, she is the peak lord of Yunxia Peak, my master, and also my woman. Long Kui, if you want to use her freedom to settle the favor, then go ahead. Qi Mengdi to herself, shocked, my rebellious disciple is actually willing to do this for me. Long Kui said, smirking, Aya, what a touching love story. Still, although your decision is irrational, I understand. After all, she is already carrying your child. Qi Mengdi froze in shock. Chu Zhu also froze, sweat forming on his brow. Chu Zhu to himself, I had my suspicions before. But to think master really hit the jackpot. Is it not said that strong cultivators have a hard time conceiving? Chu Zhu asked, so, can I take her away now? Miao Shaoqi suddenly said, wait, Long Kui, let us have a talk. Long Kui replied, I just happen to have a few things I want to ask you too. The two vanished in an instant. Silence fell over the hall, heavy and suffocating. Chu Zhu said, when did this happen? Qi Mengdi mumbled something unintelligible. Chu Zhu managed to decipher it and thought to himself, stunned. Then it has already been almost 2 years. Chu Zhu stepped forward and asked, does Aunt Luo and the others know about this? Why did you all keep it from me? Qi Mengdi said, what difference does it make whether you knew or not? She placed her hand on her small stomach. Chu Zhu suddenly pulled her into an embrace. Qi Mengdi, wide-eyed, gasped in shock. She grabbed his arm and shouted, rebellious disciple, let go of me! Qi Mengdi snapped. Do not think that just because I am carrying your child, you can do whatever you want. I can still keep the child but sever all ties with the father. Chu Zhu growled, you dare. Qi Mengdi leaned against Chu Zhu's chest, her tone cool, rebellious disciple, do not forget, I am your master. What would I not dare to do? Chu Zhu said, puzzled, it has already been 2 years, yet your belly is still so small. Do not tell me you are carrying a Neja? Qi Mengdi rolled her eyes and slapped his wrist away. What do you know? She added seriously, this child is extraordinary. They often absorb massive amounts of spiritual energy from the heavens and the earth, and require all sorts of rare heavenly treasures. Otherwise, the little one starts kicking me. Chu Zhu to himself, stunned, what? They? Judging by the way she is talking, could it be twins? Elsewhere, Miao Shaoqi and Dragon God Long Kui sat in heavy silence. Miao Shaoqi casually took a fruit from the table, bit into it, and drooled in shock. Ugh. Dragon God Long Kui asked calmly. So, it was you who helped Chu Shu refine the innate sword embryo? Miao Shaoqi shook her head. You are gravely mistaken. The innate sword embryo was his to begin with. How could it be said that I helped him? Dragon God Long Kui murmured it was his to begin with. No wonder his aura felt so familiar to me. In that case, it all makes sense now. Miao Shaoqi said so. Have you changed your mind, Miao? If that heavenly slave discovers Chu Shu's existence, it will definitely strike him down with thunderous force. The heavenly slave will absolutely not allow him to continue growing. You will not just stand by and watch him die, will you? Dragon God Long Kui said, I understand. At a critical moment, I will step in to protect him. However, Miao Shaoqi blinked. Long Kui continued, there is not much I can do either. The lineage of the dragon god has nearly reached its end in my generation. The old method of nirvana has almost run its course. If it is to continue, we must return to a more primitive method. As long as he agrees to let me bear offspring afterward, I will do everything in my power to help him. Miao Shaoqi said, all right, I will pass the message to him, Miao. As for whether he will agree, I cannot guarantee it, Miao. One elsewhere still, Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu, Tianjin, and others stood focused in cultivation. Suddenly, the corpse puppets noticed someone approaching. Two alluring women with soft, large chests intercepted the figure. They said in unison, Sacred Lake, forbidden ground. If you do not want to die, do not wander around recklessly. The man bowed slightly. Fellow Taoists, I am Zhou Long. I heard there are cultivators from the Sky Vault continent here. I came to join them. May I trouble you to inform them? The twins exchanged glances and vanished. Zhou Long grinned, eyes scanning the corpse puppets. To think there is such a strong group here. No wonder they were able to kill dozens of weapon spirits. Lu Zhu approached King of the Northern Frontier. You have recovered. I am glad you are all right. Zhou Long smiled. Many thanks for your concern, Peak Master of Heavenly Sword. After being separated from you, I stumbled into a secret place and gained some opportunities. Suddenly, a rift tore open. Chu Zhu and Qi Mengdi stepped out. Zhou Long's expression shifted as he thought to himself, why does Chu Zhu have the aura of the innate sword embryo within him? Tianjin rushed forward. Mengdi, I am so glad you are safe. I was so worried. Qi Mengdi nodded softly. Mem. Thank you for your concern. Tushan Qianyu to herself, now we demon beasts are like fish on the chopping block. I wonder how Chu Shi will treat us upon his return. Will he drive us away, wipe us out, or simply extort us for something? She stepped forward. Chu Shu, I would like to have a word with you. To herself, he is not attacking immediately. That means there is still room to talk. I must seize the initiative. Chu Shu said, brushing her off, your matters can wait. I have something more important to deal with right now. Tushan Qianyu to herself, something more important. Zhou Long narrowed his eyes at Chu Shu. Tushan Qianyu murmured, Chu Shu to himself, the aura around this guy. It feels similar to the blood eye aura between the brows of the underworld demon child. But that thing came from beyond the heavens. Normally the Taiji ancient star should not have such a thing. Could it be that this guy is being controlled by the heavenly slave through some means? Zhou Long to himself, why is the Holy Sun looking at me like that? Chu Shu revealed the peak 7th rank grand formation. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu thought to herself, Chu Shu can now casually set up a peak 7th rank formation. Even grandmasters of formation arts are no better than this. Zhou Long was shocked and asked, Holy Sun, what are you doing? We are both cultivators from the southern region. Why act like this? If I have offended your highness, please allow me to apologize. Lu Shui said, Holy Sun, what is going on? Chu Shu replied, do you know what those black monsters hunting you really are? Lu Shui shook her head. We have never seen anything like them. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tushan Qianyu said, Chu Shu, do you know where they come from? You immediately ordered the capture of the king of the northern frontier when you returned. You must have noticed the connection between him and those black monsters. Chu Shu said, Qian Mian, you really understand me. The terrifying presence lurking in the shadows is called the Heavenly Slave. Chu Shu added, the Sky Fiend is at least at the quasi-emperor level. None of us here are likely to be its match. Qi Mengdi said, the mastermind behind all this is actually at the quasi-emperor level? Qi Mengdi continued, if we do not provoke him, would he really go so far as to wipe us all out? A man beside her said, yeah, let us just not provoke him. At worst, we wait here until the Taiji ancient star opens and then leave immediately. Another added, yes, that makes sense. His friend said, let us keep a low profile and focus on cultivating here. Chu Xiu said, you were hunted by the Sky Fiend's weapons earlier. Was that because you provoked the Sky Fiend first? The Sky Fiend is bloodthirsty by nature and hostile toward all living beings. You do not seriously believe hiding will keep you safe, do you? Another man said, if what the Taishu Holy Sun said is true, then as long as we are still on the ancient star, there is nowhere to hide. A girl with an ample chest and soft legs asked, what should we do? Her friend said, are we just supposed to wait here and die? Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shan Qianyu said, you noticed something was off about him, so you captured him? Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shan Qianyu said, actually, I also sensed something was not right with this guy. Chu Xiu replied, oh, you have that kind of ability too? Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shan Qianyu said, when I saw him appear again, he had already recovered his vitality. I thought he would come at me with everything he had. After all, back when I was still a man, I was involved with the Princess of the North. You know. Lord of 1,000 Faces, Tu Shan Qianyu blushed as she recalled her past. Qi Mengdi, frustrated, muttered to herself while looking at Chu Xiu and Tu Shan Qianyu, this guy is absolutely shameless. Pah! How dare he talk about that in front of my rebellious disciple? Is he trying to corrupt my disciple even further? Lord of 1,000 Faces, Tu Shan Qianyu said, go on then. What is your reason for suspecting the Prince of the North? Chu Xiu thought to himself, no way I can tell him I sense something off about the prince's aura through my unified Tao seed, right? Right now, the only people who know I have the unified Tao seed are Master, Aunt Luo, Sister Luo, Red, and a few others who were modified. Lord of 1,000 Faces, Tu Shan Qianyu said, if you do not want to say, that is fine. Just tell us what to do next. Right now, all our lives are in your hands. As Chu Xiu concentrated, suddenly the monsters disappeared. Lord of 1,000 Faces Tu Shan Qianyu asked, where did you send them? Chu Xiu replied, I could not let them see the unified Tao seed, so I had to temporarily block them off. Chu Xiu said to Zhou Long, follow me. We are going to soul search the Prince of the North. Zhou Long was captured. Chu Xiu said, so it can be modified. Qi Mengdi said, disciple, look, what is that? They looked upward as something emerged from Zhou Long. Chu Xiu thought, is that the Sky Fiend's Tao? But why does the end source of the Black River seem to be the heavenly Tao? Chu Xiu said, Tao that is not Tao, man who is not man. Pity our kind. So even the heavenly Tao enslaves all living beings. Chu Xiu began to sweat. Qi Mengdi asked, what is wrong? As she wiped Chu Xiu's sweat, he said, it is nothing. Qi Mengdi held Chu Xiu's hand and said, as long as you are okay. Chu Xiu said, this is bad. Since the Prince of the North has already been enslaved by the Sky Fiend, I am now grafting his Tao onto my unified Tao. It is like I am stealing him back from the Sky Fiend. It will definitely notice. If the Sky Fiend realizes the traits of my unified Tao seed, it will stop at nothing to come kill me. Qi Mengdi said, then what should I do? As Chu Xiu approached the body of Zhou Long, suddenly Zhou Long shouted in pain. Ah! Chu Xiu said, Miao Xiaoqi said the Sky Fiend exists because of the great Emperor Taiyi, and that Taiyi is still fighting it even now. Just for a brief moment earlier, I sensed a small crack in the thread connecting the Black River and the Prince of the North. Maybe the great Emperor Taiyi made a move, creating a chance for me? Chu Xiu continued. Yes, otherwise there is no way I could have so easily infused the energy of the Blood Star into the Prince of the North's body. From now on, Zhou Long is a chess piece of mine, the Sky Fiend's and the great Emperor Taiyi's. Now the piece has changed hands. The Sky Fiend does not know yet. Only I and the great Emperor Taiyi do. Moments later, Zhou Long said, Your Highness, the Holy Sun, Peak Lord Yunxia, kill me quickly. I have been enslaved by a monster. Chu Xiu held his neck and said, Listen first, Prince of the North. You still have 3/4 of an hour where your mind is your own. Use the time well. Tell me everything you saw from the Sky Fiend. I need to formulate a plan to defeat it. 3/4 of an hour later, Chu Xiu approached Lord of 1,000 Faces, Tu Shan Qianyu, and the others. Tu Shan Qianyu stood up and asked, Is everything arranged? Chu Xiu said, Yes. But there is one final step. I will need everyone's cooperation. As Chu Xiu took out a pill, Tu Shan Qianyu was shocked and said, This is the 3-corp soul pill. It is highly poisonous. Chu Lao Lu, what are you trying to do? Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.